Whew, man, what up? What up? What up? Daniel Augustin here, Instant Reaction. I want to talk about Colorado versus UCF. Wow. Okay, so, I want to know who is making these predictions when you see the odds, because UCF was a 14-point favorite. And I don't blame people either, because UCF has been running the hell out of the ball. Colorado has not been stopping anyone. UCF, before this game here, UCF was probably the favorite, because when you dominate the time of possession, you tend to dominate the game. You tend to dictate the flow of the game. And before this game, Colorado struggled heavily stopping the run. They were ranked 82nd in rush defense, while UCF was ranked second in their rush offense. So, I figured, all right, this is going to be a nice little matchup, because UCF was ranked 95th in stopping the pass. Colorado was ranked 9th in the passing game. Well, the story of this game was told in a different way. Colorado came out and they actually made this game even because they were able to run the ball as well as pass the ball. They had their entire offense rolling. Colorado wins. They doubled UCF's score. This would have been the best game to bet. People didn't think they were going to win. Vegas thought they were going to lose by 2 touchdowns. They win by 4. Let me go back to the stats, because I find this to be incredibly interesting. These two teams were very even. Colorado, they did pass for more than UCF did, but UCF passed the ball pretty well, 287. 287 to Colorado's 290. When it came to running the ball, Colorado had 128 rush yards. UCF, 182. So the two teams did do what they were slated to do. Yards per play, Colorado 6.5, UCF 5.9. First downs, Colorado 25, UCF 26. Very even. But, they punt the ball 3 times, both teams. This is so interesting. Time of possession, Colorado 29 minutes, 55 seconds. UCF 30 minutes, 5 seconds. Both teams had the ball for 30 minutes. Both teams had the ball for 2 halves. But why did Colorado win by 4 touchdowns? Turnovers, sacks, turnovers, and turnovers on down, essentially. Because sometimes those sacks were drive-ending sacks. Colorado has not really been putting pressure on people. And in this game, they surprisingly started to put pressure on KJ Jefferson. This is just so interesting. Colorado tonight had 5 sacks. So UCF, I thought UCF would win this game. I want to always see Colorado win, but I thought UCF would win because I believe in the time possession. I believe in the time of possession battle. But everything is different when you're going from prediction to actually watching what happens. You're seeing how people come out and play. UCF didn't win the time of possession battle. For them to win these games, they need to win the time of possession battle. They have a running quarterback, a quarterback who more so dominates on the run than anything else. And RJ Harvey, I love watching RJ Harvey. I didn't see a single person tackle him one-on-one today. So they have the advantage when it comes to the ground game. I expect UCF to win games with a time of possession battle of about 35 to 40 minutes. I expect them to be picking up 5, 6, 7 yards a play. But in this game in particular, KJ Jefferson accounted for 3 turnovers himself. 3 turnovers on his own. He fumbled the ball once, and he threw 2 interceptions. I always expect to see Travis Hunter do his thing and make plays on offense and defense. He is only one person, though. He's only one man on that side of the ball. He can only do so much. If you don't want to throw at Travis, you throw at the other corner. Preston Hodge gets the first interception after Shedeur threw one. So you got to thank your defense. This is a team game. So, we're always talking about Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and Deion Sanders. First of all, Deion's not playing. Second of all, Travis can only do so much. Third of all, Shedeur can only do so much. Shedeur needs his offensive line to hold him up. He needs his receivers to catch the ball. But then he also needs his defense to back him up. He also needs his defense to get him good field position. He also needs his defense to not be on the field all day. So there's a give and take. Period and point blank. If you're going to get great play from your corners and from your safeties, then you can do a lot more as a football team. As a defensive unit, you can start scheming differently, right? So if Colorado can get consistent play from their defensive linemen, if they can get consistent play from their DBs not named Travis Hunter, if they can force turnovers the way that they did today consistently, this team can absolutely be a playoff team. How far they will go remains to be seen. Because if they get matched up with a Georgia and Alabama, a team that has size, they're in trouble. They lack size. This is the type of team that's got a ton of heart, but they don't have size on the D line, on the O line. UCF is a team that has a glaring strength in passing, making plays on defense. Colorado had a ton of games where the Colorado fans stormed the field, okay? Because I highly doubt Colorado's ranked after this game. But if they beat Kansas State, I can totally see the AP wanting to put Colorado in the top 25, letting them sniff the top 25 and see what they do with it. After Kansas State, they got Arizona, Cincinnati. Arizona's going to be a tough challenge, but I think that's going to be a good one. That will be one of those good ones. Texas Tech, Utah, another good one. Kansas, another good one. So they got their challenges, okay? Good game. Very good game for Colorado. Colorado, to me, is like the little engine that could. Okay, that team has a lot of heart. They are fun to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing how this carries over. They needed this win. 14-point underdogs, and they win by 4 touchdowns. Vegas, okay? Because it just don't always go the way that you think it's going to go. But all right, y'all, so I'm out of here. I'm going to get to this Alabama-Georgia game. If you got to this part of the video, I really appreciate that. Would appreciate it even more if you subscribe.